Brother Teacher here. I want to tell you about where you should be in a self defense situation if you had to defend yourself against an attacker. The best place to be, of course, is not there. But that's my little pun or my joke for this video. If you are indeed in a situation where you have to defend yourself, where you don't want to be is directly facing your opponent and clashing with him or her. In other words, that is where their strength is. As much as possible, we want to avoid the conflict head on. Sometimes we have no other choice but to defend while our opponent is facing us square and or directly, throwing a barrage of techniques and so forth at us. Sometimes things happen spontaneously and we have no other choice but to defend from where we are in a natural way. Very natural, hence the term Jen and Do. Okay, so now, if someone were to attack you, and I'm going to do a subsequent video explaining this physically, where you'll see me with a student coming up real soon. But if someone were to attack you directly, you want to be preemptive if you can sense that they are going to indeed attack you. It is not wise to wait for someone to hit you because, generally speaking, most of the time when your opponent throws the technique and you are struck, there's a shock factor, and then they capitalize on that shock factor. Once they swing at you, if you get hit, or if even if you can block it or near block it, chances are they're coming with a barrage of other attacks and catching you off balance, both mentally and even physically. So if you can ascertain that someone is about to strike you by body language, the proximity by which they're standing next to you or in front of you, sometimes it's wiser, if you cannot leave the situation or escape or even run, to stand your ground and attack before they do. Be preemptive. So now, once you attack initially, continue your attack until you cause them to submit or they fall. Leave the situation, and that's it. If it's the type of situation where you have to notify or alert the authorities, then do so. Let them know that someone was trying to hurt you and what happened, what they're wearing, what they look like, and that's it. And hopefully you will never get into a physical confrontation unless it is in the nature of just self-defense, that you didn't do anything wrong to the other person. And I would hope also that you would not be the one who would instigate or cause the potential fight. So now, best place to be, if you're confronted with someone and you're not clashing in front, but the person is in their element and they're coming directly at you, you want to take an oblique angle, take an angular position to take them off of their original intent. So if someone is coming directly at you, you may not be able to glean what I'm saying, but please pay close attention. If a fist is coming at you here, right hand, let's say, I'll take my right hand here and I'll ward it off, and I will be on the outside of my opponent. If a fist is coming this way and it's a left hand, I'll take my left hand here, I'll ward it off as I step to the side, and I'll be on the outside of my opponent. This is karate from my desk. Another session of that. So I'm sure that you can understand what I'm saying. So if I were standing here, let's say my left hand is forward and my left foot or leg is forward. The opponent attacks with the right hand. I'll counter or parry their right hand off to the side, and then I will attack. If my left hand is forward again and my left leg and they still come with the left hand, I'll chances are I'll paksao with my right hand and cover with the left, stepping with my right to my right, being on the outside of them as well, and I will engage in an attack. Always remember, never use more force than is necessary. So if someone comes at you throwing punches, do just enough to stop them from attacking you. Once they submit or once they quit, leave the situation. Okay? Once you have someone unconscious, if that's the case, don't continue to stomp and kick and elbow that individual, because you might have to have a day in court if you do that. Self-defense is only stopping someone from assaulting you physically. When they begin to attack, you end the attack. It's just that simple. And you go home to your family. I hope that this was of value and or benefit to you. Please take these words to heart. Practice often. Practice with reality in mind, not prearranged situations, assuming and presuming that when you get into a street confrontation that it's going to play out that way, because every situation is different. Every opponent is different. So sharpen your tools. Keep your body in the best physical condition as you possibly can to give you a sort of level playing field, because if you have an extremely aggressive opponent or a strong opponent, you want to be pretty strong yourself. I'm not saying that you have to be Herculean or anything of that nature of sort, but make sure that you are in good condition. And you don't have to be a martial artist to be in good shape. We're supposed to be healthy and strong anyway, even if we are the average person walking around on the street. You're not supposed to be flabby, weak, slumped over with an extreme amount of weight hanging from your gut and so forth, because if you are attacked and you have no training in or skill, you have just presented yourself as a victim, potentially. This is Brother Teacher. If you have any questions concerning this, please leave them in the comment section below. If you have any experiences based on anything that I've just said, please leave that in the comment section below as well. And be looking out for me to show you the demonstration of this very same video that I'm discussing right now as to how you handle a direct attack from an opponent by not being there and taking the side angles again. Now, let me recap. If my left hand is facing forward and someone comes with a right punch, I'm going to step left and I'm going to parry their right punch out the way, and then I'm going to begin to attack. If my left hand is forward and they come with the left hand, I'm going to pak or slap block with my right hand and cover with my left, stepping with my right leg to the right and attack at an angle, taking them off of their original intent and or target, which is where I used to be. Okay? I think that's fair. So long.